says we're live. Just got to double check. Still getting used to this StreamYard. I'm excited that I actually could get you on because I was like, oh, is it going to work?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. I see you. Awesome. So everyone, welcome to this live stream where I wanted to take some time and interview Kelly. She is the owner of Sona Wellness Clinic. It's a new clinic here in Kelowna, and she specializes in colonics and nutrition and gut health. And she opened a new place that has infrared sauna and cold plunge. And I'm super excited to talk to you about this, not only because I just want to know about your business and everything that you're up to right now, but these are topics that I don't personally know a ton about. So I'm just really excited to learn more about the therapies that you got going on in your clinic. Yeah. So I'm curious, before we get started, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Okay. Just before we get into like the details of it, I'd love to hear just about how you got inspired on your journey from being a nurse, doing psychiatric nursing, into holistic nutrition, and then to this place of opening up this clinic, because I think that's super interesting for people.
Yeah. Well, first of all, me and Sherry go way back. You taught me in holistic nutrition school back in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to see how we've all evolved. But so I was a psychiatric nurse for it was 10 years last month. I'm really passionate about mental health. But even when I was in my first or second year of nursing back in Edmonton, I always wanted to do the CSNN program.
Right.
And I even had a pamphlet sent to me, but I was working full-time hours that I wasn't able to do it in Edmonton. So then I moved to Kelowna, and I literally just walked by the school. And because Kelowna, I was working 12-hour shifts, I was able to free up more days of my week. So I enrolled in the program here in Kelowna.
Yeah.
So I just always loved holistic health and wellness. Like I loved being a psych nurse, and I understand the importance of, that the medical system and medications, but I always knew that there's so much that we can do on a personal level for our mental health. And just food being a big foundation of that. Right. And so, I was always interested in the gut health stuff, specifically because being a psychiatric nurse, we know there's like that gut-brain connection. Yeah. So it really had me dive into like just our gut health. And then when colonics came into my vocabulary, because I honestly didn't even know what a colonic was in 2019. So it's only a few years ago.
Okay.
I had 2 colonics, and it was like night and day difference. I got rid of my candida. I had 0 sugar cravings, my bloating, my brain fog, my energy, just everything improved after only 2. And it just really, so again, with gut health, like probiotics are important and things like this, but I always say you can't really probiotic your way into a healthy gut. It really is about cleansing and detoxing.
Right. Yes. Amazing.
Yeah. So I just fell in love with that world of detoxing and stuff. So
very cool. And so you got into it and got some health benefits after 2 sessions. And how many sessions do people normally experience benefits?
So I've had people feel amazing after 1. It definitely depends on what your digestive state is when you go into it. So I've had people come to me with more chronic constipation issues. So sometimes during the first one, we don't really see a lot. Yeah. And I actually want them to come back right away. And I always say the second one is night and day. Number 1 being like the first one really helps to hydrate the body and start to kind of loosen things up. Secondly, the person is usually less nervous coming into the treatment, so they know what to expect. Everybody comes in nervous. It's totally normal. And that puts your body into that fight or flight. And we really want to be in as much of a relaxed state when we're detoxing. Or when we're releasing.
Okay, cool. And so can you describe to people like what happens when they get a colonic, like what it's like when you come into the office and all that?
So I send out a intake form that I'll kind of cruise through before. If I see there's constipation issues, I'll recommend taking like magnesium citrate or something that can help with cramping and stuff. But we always have a quick chat, go over the form. I show them the equipment. I explain that everything we use is disposable. Our speculums, the shorts you wear. And then the machine, it's 25 years, it's been being used for 25 years. There's no reported adverse events. It's the creme de la creme of colonics machines. And
Cool.
it's an amazing closed system. I've used it for over 3 years now. And so the part people are most nervous about is I do have to insert a speculum. It's very small. We have what's called a disc stopper. So it's only in about a couple inches, I think less than 2. And then we have a disc stopper so nothing can slide farther in, because I know if you Google things, it'll say bowel perforation. It'll say all these scary things, but it's literally impossible with what we use.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, cool. And so what kind of situations do people struggle with that typically book the colonics?
So people come for the constipation because things are moving. And I've had people come to me literally from the hospital with an x-ray of their impaction, and the hospital gives them fluids, and they're definitely trying, but nothing really works. So constipation's number one, and then people just kind of wanting a lifestyle change. Colonics isn't just about relieving constipation. Like it's about all the things that can improve your health once you release these stored toxins that are accumulating over time, getting back into the bloodstream, causing that, autoimmune issues, chronic inflammation. A lot of people also come to me for wanting, obviously colonics isn't going to help with weight loss, but it can definitely help kickstart weight loss because it just puts people more in tune with how they're treating their body. So when they feel the benefits, then they really want to nourish themselves properly and choose healthier options and not eat garbage after because they feel cleansed and stuff. So
you just want to keep a clean feeling going.
Yeah. So lifestyle, wanting to make that lifestyle change. And I've had people come to me for skin issues because, again, our guts, like eczema, psoriasis, things like that. Mental health stuff. Typically, not just with a diagnosis of let's say depression, but just feeling overall, not as good mentally. And again, with the gut-brain connection, it can really help with that communication between our brain and our gut. So.
Right. Yeah. And so what is the benefit of doing that over a, what is it called? It's the home one that you do.
Enema. Yeah. Enemas are a great tool to use, especially in between treatments. But typically enemas, you're only releasing a little bit at a time, and then you're just holding it until you have to go. So it can help for acute constipation, but you're also our colon is up to 5-6 feet long. Right. So when you're only putting a little enema in, you're not even getting the whole colon. Yeah. So a colonic is a glorified enema, and we use 20 to 30 gallons through a treatment, continually flushing. It's a 45-minute treatment to an hour. I know when we're getting kind of deep into it, when we get a really big flush of yellow, we know we're getting to that liver gallbladder that's connected to the colon through the hepatic portal vein. So I've seen gallstones.
Amazing.
I've seen bile. So again, gallbladders are removed too easily when we can just come in for a cleanse. And
I had no idea that it would affect the liver. That's pretty amazing.
So it's really big on the liver health. The one thing we don't do is it doesn't get into the small intestine because the valve doesn't work that way.
Right. Yes.
So people come to me with SIBO and stuff, and it can't directly cure SIBO. SIBO is very hard to cure, but it's going to help decrease that overall toxicity in the body. So SIBO is something you probably have to see a naturopath for and be on certain medications, but colonics can still help remove toxins.
Okay, very cool. And so what about if a person wants to upgrade their health, what would you recommend in terms of getting colonics done?
I would recommend 3 treatments for sure.
Yeah.
Within 3 weeks or a month. Usually the first 2 are closer together.
Yeah.
I would diet change is very important. I do offer nutrition programs with colonics. I didn't mention that something I see very often is candida.
Right.
So I know you obviously know all about candida, but it comes out like a foamy yeast, and I can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Oh my gosh.
People don't even have candida symptoms and still have that overgrowth. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so then I would recommend going on it doesn't have to be a full-blown candida cleanse. Those are restrictive diets, but just lowering that kind of sugar intake and eating, better fibers and stuff. So, and then the sauna cold plunge, I think I'm so happy to be here because I have that other therapies that I can add on to it. So
Yeah.
the sauna, of course, is just going to help with detoxing. And then the cold plunge is really good for stimulating our lymphatic system and bringing everything kind of up, and then you go detox it in the sauna. So I think the sauna cold plunge with a colonic can be very beneficial.
Oh, neat. So what would be the order that you would do them in?
So I'm starting to learn what is best, because I find a lot of people, if they're nervous, they just want to get the colonic over with.
Right.
So come in for a colonic, then they'll go do a sauna cold plunge and they leave a different person. And then I've had a lot of people go do a sauna cold plunge first, and then it's like they're almost so relaxed that then when they do a treatment, they release a lot better.
Right. Oh, that makes good sense.
Do you hear that? I hear like a really loud noise.
Yes, I do hear that. I didn't know if it was on. I can't hear it on my end. I just hear it inside the computer, so I'm not sure. We're probably loud enough to cover it. I don't know.
I don't think I have anything open that would be causing that, but I just noticed.
Yeah, I don't know.
I blocked that song. Sorry. That was my Netflix. Okay.
Oh, that's okay. So, with the infrared, what is the benefit of that versus a regular like a steam sauna or a dry sauna?
So there's definitely benefits to both, but the infrared sauna, it really penetrates deeper, so it doesn't necessarily heat the cabin air. I mean, it definitely gets about 75 Celsius, so it's very hot in there, but it just penetrates deeper. Okay. And then I have the chromotherapy, so I have every color of the rainbow, and I'm actually learning more about it myself, because the chromotherapy guide I got is just kind of skin level, so it'll be like, this color is good for rosacea, this color is good for youthful skin, but it also goes way deeper. So yellow, we know, is really good for liver, gallbladder. So and then again, like on a spiritual level too. So just every day, I used to always just do red, and now I'm like, I'm going to do green today. Green is very grounding.
So you can just flip a switch to a different color?
I have a little remote.
Okay. That's so cool.
Yeah. And then, so again, green is good for creativity. Like there's just, it's awesome. So I really,
sorry. Is it like color therapy infused in the infrared? Like, are you still getting the same infrared benefits?
Yeah.
But, or different colors have different benefits?
Yeah. So there's the 3 red light panels when you sit in the sauna, and then on the roof.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. That's really neat.
Can I do a little tour quickly?
Oh, yes, please. Let's do that.
I have it set up for my.
Okay.
I do have my chiller on. It might be loud, but I'll just quickly turn it off.
That's okay.
So
I'm so glad you're going to give us the tour. Looks so cozy.
I'm just going to turn the chiller off because it's a bit loud.
Okay. Wow.
So this is the sauna.
Yeah.
And it's quite large, so it comfortably fits 3 people.
Okay, cool.
So
I can think of 2 people right now that I'm going to come down with.
Yeah.
Very excited.
And then if we
turn there we go.
Off, people can really like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then right here on the front of the door, you'll see the red light panels.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So and it's quite hot. It gets up to over 70 Celsius.
Yeah.
And there's Bluetooth in there. So I sit in there and I put a meditation on in the mornings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Wow. And then the cold plunge, that's 4 degrees Celsius. So
Right. Okay. And so tell us what the benefits are of the cold plunge.
So the cold plunge, I mean, it's amazing on so many levels. Like, first of all, circulation. So it really helps to open up our blood vessels. Like, especially when you're focusing on your breath, because you're kind of taking in that oxygen. I know that I had some circulation issues from when I had COVID last summer. I just, and I think it is kind of common, but I would wake up in the morning. It felt like I was walking on pins and needles
Oh,
just in the morning from like being like asleep. And I have been cold plunging at least 3 times a week and noticing a big difference.
Okay.
So it's just helping my circulatory system. And then again, back to the lymphatic system. So our lymph system doesn't have its own pump. That's why dry brushing is really good for our lymphatic system. Like massage, exercising, but that cold therapy just literally like triggers it to get going.
Really? Wow.
And it shuttles all those things out from cells into our system, into the liver to be eliminated. So again, getting into that hot sauna after helps to further detox. So there's benefits to just cold. Like I'm sure you've seen people go in the lake. There's benefits to just sauna, but I really try to promote the hot and cold and the circuit. So
oh, that's very cool. And so
then,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then there's so many mental health benefits. When we go in down here, we stimulate that vagus nerve. So again, it gets that brain connection going. And just like building mental resiliency. Like today I did 3 minutes and I didn't want to after 1 minute. And I did my 3 minutes. 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it was hard. But before I could only do 30 seconds. And I finish it and I feel accomplished. I feel great. You feel it gives you energy. Like it's just
very cool.
I love
I've been hearing some of the information about how it helps with producing the brown fat for maintaining your ideal weight. And like all these people doing these cold showers and stuff like that. And I don't know, I've been such a wuss so far. Like, I'm like, oh no, I don't want a hot shower or a cold shower. It feels terrible. But
why I don't even like cold showers. Just submerge yourself, and then knowing there's a hot sauna, and then I also have a shower in the room. And sometimes I go from the cold plunge to a hot shower.
Okay.
So it makes it a bit easier. Of course, the benefits are to end on cold because then your body has to heat itself up. And that helps with mitochondrial replication. So it's really good for cellular health, anti-aging, again, metabolism. So
oh, very exciting. So what made you want to expand from in doing the colonics into these other therapies?
I just realized, I worked in the hospital for a long time. I've taken a step away, and I just want to create a little culture or business or somewhere to go to focus on like preventative health. So again, you can come to me for sure with acute issues, but also just like for wellness. I feel like I spent so many years, nearly a decade, working in an industry of illness. And it just feels like I'm just very passionate about it, and people leave here like just feeling so good, and they're taking steps for their future. And again, these toxins, and like we know that people that sauna regularly, there's so many studies outside of Finland about lower risk of everything from cancers, dementia, autoimmune diseases by doing some of these practices. So there wasn't really a lot here in Kelowna, and I think these therapies paired with nutrition is truly the foundation of like health. So
exactly. And
create my own space.
Amazing. That's such a great thing, right? Because it's so many people, they just wait until they're sick, and then they're dealing with something that's so much more deeply ingrained in their body, and it's harder to heal when you let it get so bad, right? So it's so nice to like have things that people can do to focus on their health. That is not about healing a disease necessarily, but just attaining and achieving your optimal state of health. And obviously that goes to like your optimal life, right? So obviously you can't have the best life if you're not in an optimal state of health. So
exactly. And even with I didn't mention the sauna cold plunge, it is such a amazing therapy for stress. Like we all have stress in our life. So it's just stress is like I think we've all heard stress is the silent killer. Some people are stressed without knowing it. So adding these into your routine can really help decrease that stress so you can go show up better.
Yeah, exactly. And even just taking the time out for yourself, right? It's like, that's just so hard for people to do. And it's like, you have this little oasis that you can go to and just be. So that's really, really cool. And so you're located downtown in Kelowna?
Yes, I'm right on St. Paul Street. I'm right beside the Sugar Shack. If anyone knows what that is, it's sugar waxing. But and then They're building the new UBC across the street, so I'm
Right.
watching them build.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. And all the students can come and de-stress and stay healthy.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay, was there anything else that you wanted to share just about that people might not know that is helpful with the therapies that you're offering, or anything that's new? Or
I wanted to mention, only because it's come to my attention a few times this week with some clients, is that detoxing isn't always about physical. We store a lot of negative emotions such as shame, guilt, obviously sadness, grief, depression, things in our gut. So a lot of people have left a colonic feeling like, oh, weight lifted off their shoulders.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so
that's awesome. Yeah, it's always good to remember that aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing what you're up to. And I'm excited to come down myself and experience it all.
I was going to say, come on down anytime. Love to have you. We can even just like have a sauna together and do. Like, I invite my friends over and we'll just like, yeah,
that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thanks for coming on and sharing all this great health information, and for providing this resource for people here in Kelowna.
Thanks for having me. And I'll just kind of plug myself, but my website is just sonawellnessclinic.com, and lots of information on there.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for coming on, and I hope to see you guys at the Sona Wellness Clinic.
Okay. Thanks, Sherry.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.